With us here on set in Los Angeles is California GOP Congresswoman Young Kim. Congresswoman, we brought you on to talk about a different issue, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this first. It's the Kamala Harris thing. It's the border. I mean, people forget that California is a border state, right? I mean, we're not sending migrants into cities like Greg Abbott is doing and Doug Ducey, but it's still a border state. And for the vice president, who's the czar, not to visit, it seems like a slap in the face. Your thoughts?
It's a shame and it's a travesty. I've been calling on this administration, and especially so-called border czar, who's been in that position for over a year and a half, has never been down to the border to meet with our border patrol officers to see the crisis at hand. I applaud Kevin for recognizing, as a Democrat on that panel, recognizing that we do have a border crisis. I personally have gone down to the border 3 times, and I've noted that we don't have any strategy to deal with the border crisis at the southern border. So I actually came up with a common sense solution and introduced comprehensive Southern Border Strategy Act so we can come up with a mile by mile border strategy. We need to have a better control of our border. And for our border czar not to go down there, our president, who has never been down to the border, come on, I've been down to the Del Rio sector, the Rio Hondo sector. There is crisis, especially when we have, for the last 18 months, we have over 150,000 migrants crossing the border on a month-to-month basis for 18 months in a row. That is a crisis.
It's crazy. It really is. I started my career on the border. I've been down there 1,000 times, and what our reporters are down there reporting is precisely what's happening right there. Stand by, if you would, Congressman, because if you would, today, the Los Angeles City Council president resigned from her post following the stunning release of an audio recording of racist remarks she made at a meeting with fellow Latino council members last year. Matt Finn is here with more on this developing story. Matt, good evening.
Good evening, Trace. Well, this evening, that former LA City Council President Nury Martinez has resigned from being president, but she has not fully resigned from council. And right now, the list of people and organizations who are calling for the resignation of Martinez and the other 2 council members associated with this scandal has been growing by the hour. There were protests outside of Martinez's home today, and tonight, the Democratic Party of California and LA Mayor Eric Garcetti have publicly requested these council members resign. California Governor Gavin Newsom has also condemned the leaked audio as racist language. The leaked recording came from a redistricting meeting last year in which the former city council president is heard making racist remarks about the behavior of a gay white council member's black child.
It's like the oddest thing. It's like black and brown on this float, and then there's this white guy with this little black kid who's misbehaved. The kid is bouncing off the effing walls on the float, practically tipping it over.
Martinez also made another racist comment, calling the black child a slur that translates to a monkey. 2 other council members were a part of that meeting and are being asked to resign for apparently participating in such a vile conversation. Now, in a statement in which Martinez resigned from her post as president, she wrote in part, quote, "I take responsibility for what I said, and there are no excuses for those comments. I'm so sorry. I sincerely apologize to the people I hurt with my words, to my colleagues, their families, especially to Mike, Sean, and your son. As a mother, I know I am better, and I am sorry. I am truly ashamed." Now, Martinez was the first Latina to become city council president, and at one point was eyed as a possible candidate for mayor, and tonight her public career is in a free fall, Trace.
It is indeed. Matt, if you would stand by, if you would bring back the Congresswoman here. I mean, people don't realize that this city council, I know city councils are supposed to be nonpartisan, 14 Democrats and 1 independent on this city council.
Wow.
Congresswoman, this is Democrats fighting Democrats in the city of Los Angeles.
Yes, I can see that, and the words speak for itself. I mean, people are listening to this. I think that's why we have election. They can hold them accountable, And I am so sorry for the residents living in Los Angeles. And I don't represent Los Angeles, but I think they have an opportunity to keep their elected officials accountable for those racist remarks and very sensitive remarks. It doesn't belong there.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And that's the whole thing. I'm just getting this. You know, you represent parts of Los Angeles and Orange County. I want you to look at these numbers and put these on the screen. Murders have risen by 10% in Orange County. That's in the first quarter of the year. Fentanyl-related deaths surged 1,262% from 2016 to 21 in Orange County. Robberies have spiked 16% in Los Angeles this fiscal year. This is a combination of soft on crime and soft border. Your thoughts?
Definitely because of the open border that we're seeing and the number of fentanyl and the drugs and the human trafficking that is occurring at the open border is what is causing all these crimes to arise. Now, what is more also alarming is the rise in organized retail crimes. Just in my district alone in Orange County, throughout Los Angeles as well, it seems like every week we're seeing a news about another business being broken into. So smash and grab, retail thefts, they are on the rise here in California, in LA, Orange County. So I am dealing with that in my district. Look, the T-Mobile store in Orange, as well as the 2 jewelry stores at the Brea Mall in my district. Also, Dave Heyman Jewelers in city of Yorba Linda, it was just broken into. Not once, but twice. Now, I went to visit with him, and he's showing me they are now using not glass, but plastic for the display cases, and they're having to redo and rethink about how they do operation. So to address that, I have a solution, again, common sense solution that says we need to have a better coordination and collaboration between the retailers and the federal, state, and local law enforcement. That's why
they're locking things up. They're locking things up in these cabinets, and that's the craziest thing in the world. People have to literally go to different people to get toothpaste and other things because they lock everything up because they are getting ripped off daily, and it's costing them millions of dollars. I want to talk about the gas because outside it's $6.99 and 9 cents, right? Yeah. It's $7 a gallon. Here's Gavin Newsom threatening the greedy oil companies. Watch.
We're currently, as we speak today, $2.50 more than the national average. There's nothing comparable close as it relates to state taxes, of which the vast majority of states have gas taxes. They've averaged about 29, 30 cents. Ours about 54 cents. This is just rank price gouging. They can get away with it. They're fleecing you. They're taking advantage of you, every single one of you.
We have checked and rechecked this. It's not true, Congresswoman.
So that 54 cents per gallon that he's talking about is because of his and his Democratic legislature in Sacramento. They created this when they passed the largest gas tax in 2017. Every July, for the next 10 years, Californians are paying more in gas tax because of their state gas tax. That's why I've been calling for Governor Newsom for months to suspend the gas tax. And now we have the ability to recover trillions of barrels of oil, which is more safe, more cleaner, right underneath our American soil. Right. If we increase our domestic energy production, we can lower gas prices. It's what he's talking about is exactly the bad, failed policies coming out of Sacramento. What is he talking about?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing.
It's his policy that created this mess.
And it's been fact-checked. It's California's policies. It's these different fuels and different blends that you have to have that the refineries say, these are expensive. These are expensive. We have to change out parts to do it for summer and for winter, and that raises the price of gas, especially in California, dramatically. And California wants to be a model for the world. Congresswoman, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your time very much.
Thanks for having me.
You know, Matt, and we talk about this because you have done these stories. We know these things are fact. You've done some fact checking to kind of wrap us up on the gas crisis and the gas prices in California.
Well, Tracy, let me say briefly, I just came from the southern border in Texas, and gas down there was about $2.89. We all know we're paying, what, $6 plus outside of this studio right now, and Newsom
$7, $8.
He does blame the oil companies. He insists that they are fleecing Californians, but the oil companies disagree with that claim.
Yeah, which is amazing to me because you think, why would they disagree? Because, I mean, why would they not fight back harder? Because they, you know, every time that the courts have ruled on this, and the courts have said, you know, the governor doesn't really have a leg to stand on this thing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.